started? Can everyone hear okay? You don't think it's on? It's just me? I don't know how to turn that on. Maybe one of these buttons that says mic.
I think it's down
Too high tech for them.
Absolutely. Okay, is that better? Is that through the system? All right, we'll go with it. Thank you everyone for coming. It's a special day for us. I'd like to welcome you on behalf of the Department of Pharmacy and the hospital, as well as the college and the residency program, many of which our current residents are here, preceptors are here, and many past R's in the room. We are infamous, I guess you could say, with our R numbers and the strange things we do. We have a suppository each year as a marker of finishing the program that gets discussed quite a bit around the country. There's lapel pins that are suppositories that get worn at certain meetings, and we have some stickers that say once an R, always an R, which some of my colleagues from other places think are very interesting. One of our anesthesiologists actually stole one so he could wear it, even though he didn't know exactly what it meant. He just wanted to be in the club, I guess. And Kevin couldn't be with us today, or we could make fun of him here. It's something we are very proud of, and we always have been, we always will be. If you talk to folks and you run into them and you say you're from UK Pharmacy, one of the first things they're going to ask is what's your R number. The residents have gone on to do tremendous things, many deans, leaders in industry and in our profession, and more important, a great group of people. Just personally, the other thing that happens is when you come through this place, you can't help but have your life touched, not just professionally, but in many ways. Some of the R's, I went through the list this morning, and when I do this, I will always leave someone out, but the folks I've ran across since my time here, HR1, Bob Rapp was one of my first bosses here. R13, Tom Foster. R63, Ken Record was stuck with me for the better part of a year. Sorry, Ken. R151, Jimmy Hatton was one of my program directors. R213, George Davis. I'd like to say is one of my favorite R's. There's George. Brand entrance. Not necessarily because of his influence on me, but because he brought R277 here, my wife, Julie, who's in the back. So needless to say, it leaves a lasting impression, and it's a very special day that we wanted to be here to honor Shane and give her a token of our appreciation. It's something to recognize her contribution to this family. And we're going to have a few folks come up with some welcoming remarks as well. From the department, Gary Johnson sends his good wishes. He's not able to be here today, but Kimberly has agreed to say a few words for us. Kimberly.
So I'm standing in for the infamous Gary Johnson. So I was so pleased that I was asked to say a few words because we've worked together for so many years. And I have to say I'm just so pleased that to the committee that organized this event and that we'll be honoring you today, Shane. For more than 20 years, you have had a tremendous impact on the Department of Pharmacy, UK, and especially our residency program. As you led the pharmacists and the residents, it was always, know every patient, every drug, every day. And with that approach, I mean, you really helped us to have excellent pharmacy care. I think it's been a tremendous impact that you've had on all of us, whether it was as in your starting out years as a staff pharmacist in the critical care satellite, or as a preceptor to our students and residents, or rounding on the services with the physicians and other colleagues, or as the director of clinical pharmacy services. You've really had that kind of impact on all of us. And not only in the type of pharmaceutical care that you were able to help us provide, but really the care that you had for all of us. Whether it was the patient or the residents, students, colleagues, but really listened and understood and could help guide us through to work through whatever the issues were, to really see the crux of the matter and help us to all grow and motivate us to excellence. So tremendous impact on all of us, and I hope all of you had the opportunity to work with Shane, and I certainly did. I really enjoyed the impact that you had with me as we would meet in the evenings, kind of as my sounding board as well. So I am truly, I want to congratulate you on this honorary R. You certainly deserve it. Congratulations.
Thank you, Kimberly. And from the college, Dr. David Burgess.
Thanks, Jeremy. And Shane, before I get started, and your services for the last 18 years at the College of Pharmacy, Jeremy's already highlighted two folks that had an R and made impact on a lot of folks. And ironically, I have to also acknowledge them, and that is both Ken Record and Bob King. As an infectious disease specialist, when I came to school here way back, they were here and motivated me to become interested in infectious diseases. And as it's said, that R's have had major impact around the country, and that's no different even personally. But from your aspect, I've been back for 4 years now. I came back in 2012 to become the chair of the Department of Pharmacy Practice and Science, and have enjoyed interacting with you in our time. At that time when I came back, you were already the clinical services director at the pharmacy, and the impact that you've had in academia has been unbelievable. The three pillars that we all have stood on, from being an educator to scholarly work to service, you epitomize that. You demonstrate that every day. And the one thing that I tell everybody, no matter which of those pillars we're in, it's all about one thing. And Kimberly, you touched upon it already, and that is about the patient. And that's exactly what I try to emphasize to everyone, and I think you've done a wonderful job through the education, through your scholarly work, through your patient care directly, early in your career, when that's what you were focused on. It's always about the patient, and I think as healthcare providers, that's what we should be focused on. Lord knows there's a lot of healthcare issues in this state to deal with that we all have, and so that's what I hope none of us as healthcare providers ever forget, is why we are doing what we're doing. Whether we are educating the next generation, whether we're doing it from a scientific standpoint, or from a service standpoint of direct patient care, or other service areas, from leadership, professional organizations, it always goes back to that one central core of why we're here, and it's the patient, and you have done that unbelievably. From being in the academic arena of teaching, I've gone back, looked at, reviewed even the evaluations and comments of students of your teaching, and they are outstanding and excellent in your regard. You brought to them in the didactic courses what was happening from a real life standpoint in the patient care. You related to them. That's what they want to know and they need to understand, is how are we taking care of and impacting our patients. Not only in the classroom, but as a preceptor for not only students, residents, colleagues that you've already heard about. You had a direct impact on them. From the scholarly standpoint of giving presentations, looking at research, looking at outcomes, sharing that information with colleagues around the country, so that not only would we do better here at the University of Kentucky, but how can others take what we've learned and implement and use at their places to make an impact on patients. And then service. And this is the one that I can talk forever, because it's not just your patient care that you did, it's the way you came up through the ranks and through the development and your leadership that you provided. Numerous people have commented on, oh, Shane was not only a leader in her roles, but she was a mentor. She was an advisor. She was an outstanding colleague. But to me, I think the most important thing of all of that is she was an outstanding friend. She cared about me. She wanted me to succeed and be successful, to make a difference in patient lives. And so I agree and I applaud, and I think this is outstanding. And your recognition for all that's going on here is more than deserved. You have done a phenomenal job and impacted numerous people, as you can even see from in this room, people that are just here that have come. And so I do bring welcomes from the college. I couldn't be prouder to be associated and interact with you over the time period that I've had, and I cannot think of a more deserving person than you to have this honorary R number. So again, congratulations. I think this is a phenomenal award, recognition, and look forward to even seeing and talking more with you. Thank you.
Thank you, David. I think within our residency program, the highest award you can get is probably the Paul Parker Award that's given out each year. Short of that, the highest honor we can bestow on anyone is an honorary R number. If you've been in or around the program, you know we are very protective and possessive of those numbers. When a specialty program wants to make changes or a new program's coming on and they're talking about we're going to do this part and this part and that part, many times the question gets turned around, oh, are they going to get an R number? It's something that the value is held very highly. An honorary R has only been given out once before, and that was to Dr. Bob Rapp, who's agreed to come back and present the award for the second time. And personally, Shane, I can't think of anyone who's more deserving. Bob.
Thanks, David. Hey, Shane. How you doing there, lady? For those of you that don't know me, I'm an old guy. And, however, my golf handicap has recently fallen to 15. So it's amazing what happens when you play 3 or 4 days a week. Okay, you do get a lot better as you do that. Again, for those of you that were born probably way before I started in this place, I got my bachelor's degree from Kentucky, and anybody want to guess? The first 5-year class at the University of Kentucky College of Pharmacy. 63. 1963. Washington and Gladstone, okay, is where the College of Pharmacy was at that particular time period. Then all of a sudden somebody said, you got to go back and get this degree called a PharmD degree. I had no earthly idea what the hell that was. So 5 of us enrolled in the PharmD program, and all of a sudden I found myself in the 2nd year med school curriculum. And with Charlie Walton in his office, using those orange boxes or those orange containers that he used to drink like crazy. And of course, what was Charlie doing with those orange containers? Chewing tobacco. It was his spittoon. So you had to sit through a couple of orange containers for his therapeutic sessions. But I'll tell you one thing, I learned a lot, and to this day, I can quote you autonomic pharmacology like crazy because of the things that Charlie Walton taught us. Anyway, then I was department chair from about 1989 to 1998, I guess. And you came to Kentucky in 1998?
It was 94.
90? Was it 90? Well, no, you came.
I came to the hospital.
You came to St. Luke's. I remember that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, in that particular time period. Well, first of all, by the way, Craig told me 5 minutes. I'm trying. Okay. First of all, congratulations on being selected as the honorary resident at the University of Kentucky Hospital. John Armistead, I had dinner with him Wednesday night, and he extends his heartfelt congratulations as well. And I asked John, I said, with your relationship with Shane, is there a few words that you could share? that you remember about her. And he did that. And I understand he also sent a video as well, I believe. But here's what he said. She's collaborative. She's very influential, residency program director, friendly, effective preceptor, networker, razorback,
More of a mild.
encouraging and optimistic and very positive. So those are the way that John remembers you during his tenure up here, and that's just outstanding. Shane is a graduate of the University of Arkansas College of Pharmacy with a BS in '91, I believe. The following year, she did a residency at the hospital of the University of Arkansas in Little Rock. And then soon Kentucky called, and she accepted a position as clinical pharmacist at St. Luke's East in Fort Mitchell, right?